Hello everybody, Philip here with my A to Z series of food and diet. Today is D, and D stands for diet. This is the big one, so I don't know if this video is going to be longer than the usual ones. Now, as you listen to me talking about this uber essential part of human life, consider this question, one question. Is your body your temple, or is your body a trash can? At the end of the video, when you've listened to all my ideas about diet and my research into diet, give yourself a score out of 100. If you give yourself 100, you've got a lovely temple for your body. If you give yourself a 0, you're probably not even watching this and you're probably dead. Anyway, give yourself a score at the end. Now, just an example, I'm about to have my lunch, and this is, I wonder if you know what's in there. It's a bowl of red dragon fruit, gooseberries, banana, cashew nuts, and some chopped up dates. I don't normally have fruit for lunch, but I did a quick water fast for 2 days before today, and I'll tell you more about that when we get to F. So I'm just coming off the water fast with fruit. Okay, I think of diet as having principles. That's maybe the best way to tackle diet. The first principle is that people think, and there's millions of diet books and tons of stuff on diet, but it's all about going on a diet to lose weight. But the trouble is, in life, the way gravity works, when we go on something, we're going to come off it. So my argument is, don't do a diet for losing weight. Change your diet, which is not temporary. It means that you're changing it as you go along and as you evolve, and change your diet so that you support your health, and then just let your natural weight come to you in the next few months. If you feel you're overweight, by changing your diet to a health promoting diet, your weight will come off in good time, and you won't be wanting to binge eat all the old bad foods. So that's my first principle. Just think of diet as what you eat, not why you eat it to lose weight. Now, the second principle is that we're all different. Our corporate mindset world in this day and age is trying to make us all the same. We're not. You'll probably know in your family that somebody likes tomatoes and the other person doesn't like tomatoes. And we all have a different constitution, which we'll go into more when I talk about Ayurveda in another series. Oh, by the way, I'm also drinking moringa tea. Now, if you don't know about moringa, look it up. It's packed full of nutrients. So we're all different. We have different tastes, different constitutions, and different tendencies. So take that into account. All those diet books out there, it's one size fits all. Doesn't work. Think of diet as 3 kinds of diets. I'm going to give you 3 kinds of diets. The first one is the baddie, and you will be overweight or fat or obese if you're mainly on this diet. And you will be asking for health problems and probably have health problems already. I call it the corporate diet. Corporate diet includes processed foods, which are in packages and packets and jars and bottles and so on, and they have a list of ingredients usually with some dodgy things on them. I'll show you that in a minute. Junk food, fast food, GMOs. If you're eating GMOs, which is often corn and sugar and products, processed foods, are all made from these kinds of things. Refined foods, refined sugars, salts, and oils, really not good for our bodies and our health. And in fact, there you go, junk food. It's even called rubbish. So if you're eating a lot of junk food, your body's a bit of a trash can. Fizzy drinks, all the usual ones. I'm not going to say them. You know what they are. They will make your health and your size not what you want. Here's a I haven't got many processed foods in our house. This is some kind of snack, and just to read you the ingredients, I'll take my glasses off. Wheat flour, tapioca starch, palm oil, fish sauce, and then we start getting into funny things. Raising agent, INS 503.2, sugar, flavor enhancer, monosodium glutamate. You probably know MSG. Excites the heart and not good for us. Garlic, okay. Salt, if it's refined salt, not good. Artificial color, INS 102, INS 110. Antioxidant, tertiary butyl hydroquinone. Those INS numbers are chemicals and they're toxins, not good for our body. Here we are, Nescafe Blend and Brew. Creamer with roasted and ground coffee. Food additive, INS 1701, INS 3313, 340.2, 452.1, 471, 472.E, 500.2, sweetener called acesulfame K, natural identical flavor added. So those are your processed foods, which come under my title of corporate foods. Diet B, whole foods, plant-based, vegetables, fruits, nuts and seeds, grains and starches, and whole grains really, not refined. So that's brown bread, brown pasta, herbs and spices, superfoods, which are normal foods but in a small size, like moringa, and packed full of micronutrients, seaweeds and algae, juices and shakes. Juices and shakes can be vegetable or fruit or a mix. Herbal teas, tea and coffee. I drink lots of oolong and green tea. Juices and shakes, and then there's alcohol, which, you know, if a certain amount is probably good for you, if it's made properly. The third diet, which for me, well, I mean, if you've ever heard of the keto diet, this is sort of the keto diet. This is whole foods, but animal based. So this is your meat and dairy, milk, cheese, yogurt, ice cream, that kind of thing is dairy, butter, eggs and poultry, and honey. Now, the question with your whole foods animal-based diet, and I'm not saying it's healthy or unhealthy, and I think some people do quite well on an animal-based diet, but where did the animals come from? Were they factory farmed in prisons, or did they live in the fields and have a good life? Where does the milk come from? Does it come from cows in sheds or cows that are enjoying the fields? Is the meat from wild animals, or basically, you know, living free? You can think of your ethics when you choose what animal foods to eat. Some people, some constitutions appear to need more animal-based foods than others. My personal diet is about 90% whole food plants and 10% is fish, eggs, butter, and a bit of chicken. So those are the three diets. If you're in the middle diet, mainly plant-based, or a good balance of plants and animal-based foods, which are whole foods, then your body's more temple than trash can. If your body's mostly corporate, you're treating it not very kindly, and it won't reward you. There's hundreds and thousands of ailments and illnesses out there, and diet is definitely a big impact. Some other thoughts on diet. We've talked about it before. All foods are acid or alkaline forming after you've digested. Now, in a nutshell, you can look at it. There's lots of lists online, but Vegetables and fruits are alkaline forming, everything else is acid forming. You need a balance in your body. I try and keep mine 60% alkaline forming or more. But so long as you get both, you should be all right. You can think of toxins and nutrients, and toxins create free radicals, and nutrients give you antioxidants. Think of a bank balance. Are you in the black or are you in the red? You want way more nutrients than toxins. We live in a toxic world, so toxins are coming in, but if your body can process them in timely fashion, you'll be okay. But if you're on a corporate-based diet, too many toxins, not enough nutrients. Think about a mix of cold and hot foods, liquid and solid foods, and important in many health circles is raw versus cooked. I want cooked foods, and I don't want only raw foods, and I think that for many constitutions, raw foods only will cause health problems and possibly mindset problems. Some may get away with it, but Ayurveda, which I'm big on, and I'll mention Ayurveda in a minute, definitely goes for cooked foods and raw foods and wants a balance. One argument is that when you cook foods, you burn off all the nutrients. I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. Sometimes I go to Dr. Wang in town, who runs a Chinese dispensary full of all the traditional Chinese herbs, and he always, whatever problem you've got, he'll mix up 5 or 6 or 10 of the different herbs, and you get 1 day package, and you get 5 days. I come home and the instructions are to put 1 day's package into the saucepan with 3 cups of water, and you boil this for about 1 hour, which brings it down to 1 cup of fluid, and that's what you drink. Now, if Chinese herbs are medicinal and cooking destroys all the nutrients, doesn't work, does it? So that alone for me confirms that cooking doesn't destroy nutrients. It will destroy some, so you can lightly cook, but on the flip side, cooked food is easier to digest, so your body's got less work to do. Raw foods, more digestive work to do. Balance is a key word. Ayurveda and blood type diets. Blood type diet's not very common. I read it from Dr. Dadamo and in a metabolic typing diet. I've read nothing elsewhere on blood type, but it suggests that if you're blood type O, you want certain foods, more animal-based, heavy digestion, and then type B and type A and so on have different lists. I think there's some merit in it, but I'm just telling you about it. And Ayurveda, because it's only Ayurveda and blood type diets that take into account our unique constitution and needs. We know this because some people will eat tomatoes, some people won't eat tomatoes. So the trick is to find out what foods are good for you, but not for your mind and your tongue, because your tongue gets addicted. The last thing to talk about diet for today is eating habits. And it's not just the foods we eat, it's the habits we have. Living in Chiang Mai, where I see a lot of tourists and a lot of people coming through, and being an observant kind of person, I can tell you that most Westerners eat food like it's going out of fashion. There's almost non-existent chewing. It's a couple of chews, down. Now, just think how much work your stomach and your digestive system's got to do. Whereas if you chew well and mix it with saliva, you're already digesting your food. Not only that, what you might think is a boring food, but it's healthy, like vegetables, they start to release subtle flavors and tastes when you've chewed more. So chewing is really important. Routine, I think, is important. I have breakfast, lunch and dinner at roughly the same sort of time, so the body knows what's coming. The last meal of the day should be so they say, a good 3 hours before your bedtime. And the reason is that sleep is for repair work, regeneration time for your body. And if your body's still digesting food when you go to bed, it's busy doing that and it's not doing your repair work. Sleep is one of the best things for our health. The digestion time. People put on weight when they eat snacks, and it's because, so I understand, and it makes full sense, if you have lunch and then an hour later you're snacking, your body hasn't digested the lunch fully, and now it's got snacks coming in. So what all health people say is that you must let your previous food digest before you eat more food. So I think people who tend towards snacking are likely to be overweight, and most snacks are likely to be processed foods. So think about snacking. The last thing to suggest to you is, are you eating sitting down or on the go? Now, I changed my whole approach to diet 13 years ago, and I build my life around my meals. I don't fit my meals into a busy lifestyle. For me, eating healthy, whole foods, mainly plant-based, but I love eggs and a little bit of cheese sometimes. This is a big joy in my life. So I don't want to be rushing around eating my food. I haven't got time for breakfast. I've got to go to work or get up earlier. This was my view. And the healthier our diet, perhaps the less sleep you need. You sleep well and you can get up earlier and you get yourself an extra hour or two in the day. But I might spend half an hour preparing my breakfast. Meals, for me, are sacrosanct and a fundamental basis for healthy living. And if you're healthy, you're going to be happy. And if you're healthy and happy, you're going to be living in harmony. These are my 3 H's: health, harmony, and happiness. And life will be joyful. Okay, that's D. Tomorrow, or well, the next time I do one of these will be E, and we'll see what we come up with for E. But meanwhile, if you like this video and you've got to the end, are you a trash can or are you a temple? And is there room for you to become more of a temple than before? And if you like my video and you like listening to this kind of information, then it's the usual request, which I'm now doing because I'm now in front of this phone. Please like my video, please share it, and you can subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to slowly build all this up and see where it takes me. Okay, thank you for listening, and make yourself a temple. Bye bye.